Okay, let me just yes. Again, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. So today we are just want to welcome everyone for thank you for your time. And so today we're just going to make it it's a very short webinar, and the idea is to share with you top secrets on how to cut down your electricity cost by 50%. You'll find that the tips you're going to be sharing are almost very basic things that you do know, but you haven't taken absolute cognizance of. So, and while we are sharing this is because we know that beyond what we do at Solfa Power, which we still introduce ourselves, um, we want to be able to add value to your lives and enable you to, enable you to live a more productive life, and of course help you save your money. Yes. So that said, we'll then move directly into the presentation for today. So by way of introduction, my name is Chineye Ajayi. I'm a lawyer. Yes, I'm also an energy professional with an expertise in renewable energy, and I'm a co-founder of Solfa Power Limited. Yes, and by this side, I'm a wife and a mom of 3 kids. And just to give you a background of what we do at Solfa Power. So Solfa Power is a clean energy company that is established to provide clean energy solutions to our customers, to our clients. So what we do is that we provide energy solutions to ranging from solar home systems to standalone systems. So solar home systems are what you typically know as solar generators, right? They're very small. They look like your normal I pass my neighbor generator, and they are used to provide they kind of provide electricity for your basic needs, like you're charging your phone, you watching TV, charging your laptop, and other gadgets that you have. And then the idea, the objective is that we observe that, of course, the rising cost of fuel and diesel, and as well as the potential rise in cost of a tariff. So you're positioned to not just to help you live productive life, but ensure that you do it in a clean and healthy way. Okay, so that's what we do at Solfa Power. And so why should you be here? Why are you here in the first place? Right. So personally, when it comes, nobody likes to pay heavy bills, right? Including myself. So I'm usually exceptionally uncomfortable when it comes to huge energy bills. I remember, I don't know if you've ever had that same experience. While you have a scenario where, before we had prepaid meters, very common now. Before then, someone just slams you with an energy bill of say 50,000 naira, and you're asking yourself, I just have one TV and the fridge in my house. How did I get to pay so much money? And then, sometimes they cut off your electricity because you're unable to pay. I remember for sometimes if they slam me with a bill of like 30,000 naira, I'll just pay 10,000 naira just to keep going. That's just tell that electricity bills can be really, really, really high. Okay, so, and as a founder of Solfa Power, one of the things we have been able to do since our inception, is that we have been able to help over 60%. So cut down their electricity bills or the electricity cost by 50% and even more, right? And that's why we're here to share this with you. And what you see so you look at the picture by the side, is actually a real life project that we undertook somewhere around Festac in Lagos. And this client, before we install the solar system at this place, he was using generator, and the electricity was very, very epileptic, very unreliable, and he spent almost close to 30 to 40,000 naira on a weekly basis to power his generator, and this is just usually for a few hours. So imagine if he had to do this for over like 24 hours a day, or almost 12 hours a day, it was going to get up to 100,000 naira. But since we installed a solar system in his house, he didn't have to buy fuel anymore. Like fuel was gone. That's in addition to, of course, other inconveniences that I will talk about subsequently. So this is not something that we are trying to make up. We've actually helped over 60 clients at different locations, at different levels, help them cut down their electricity clients. So as I said, Mr. Biodun is a client in Festac, and so some of the secrets that we have, taught Mr. Biodun is one of the things we want to share with you today. Okay, so we'll just get right into it. So first, like I said, I understand your pain. Like I've been there personally. I've been there because, the rising cost of fuel is real. So currently, for instance, I'm aware that in certain places, like in Lagos, you can buy fuel as much as almost 700 naira. In other locations, I was in just recently, and I was told that you could buy fuel for as much as 1,000 naira per liter. That's expensive, really expensive. And imagine having to do that on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. So, and apart from that, it's not even available. Like it's scarce. You have to stand on the queue to be able to get fuel to power your generator. And how about electricity tariff? We are coming from a place where electricity tariff was like 20 naira per kilowatt hour. Now we're looking at some people are already in band A, right? Paying almost 200 naira per kilowatt hour. So electricity token, they usually buy 10,000 naira that will last them for almost like 3 weeks, barely last for a day. Or three, rather barely last for a few days, depending on how you consume. So these things are real. And that's because electricity by its very nature can be expensive, right? Electricity by its very nature can be very expensive. So what we are essentially doing here is to give you tips that you can actually cut down your cost, like for real. You can, and so for this webinar, like I said, it's going to be very, very short, as much as possible. And we're going to be sharing with you three very, very, very basic tips that you can reduce, that can help you reduce your energy expenses and help you save more money so that you can actually expend the money on other things. I mean, we have a lot of things that we can use money for. Okay. So yes, our number one tip is what use energy saving equipment and appliances. You may be wondering, like, really, yes. So, technology has advanced. Technology has advanced, and we find out that there are a lot of energy saving appliances. Everything has an energy saving version, even your laptops. You have energy saving fans, you have energy saving bulbs, right? And then, just also add an additional tip, that your LED bulbs are much more energy efficient. So energy efficient, let me just explain what that means for those of us who might not understand. So energy efficient appliances are appliances and equipment that use technologies that are less energy intensive. So it means they require very small quantity of energy to accomplish exactly the same task, even better than an appliance that is not energy efficient. I'm sure you remember those days. I don't know if some people still use those bulbs anyway, those very yellow bulbs. They're not as bright as our normal LED lights, but they consume so much energy. But right now, most of the LED bulbs you see are very consume as little as just 3 watts, some 2, even less, to provide you with just as bright lighting that you need. So I use electricity saving equipment. So for instance, if you want to get your AC, your air conditioner, there are inverter ACs that are energy savings. Your freezer and your fridges can be energy savings. I've seen a very big freezer that's as little as just 60 watts, 50 watts. So these are things that are really practical. And let me show you how exactly this works. Right. So and so this, for instance, your inverter AC, let me just use an inverter. Inverter ACs are like energy saving ACs, right? And they are sometimes called inverter ACs because they work very well with inverters, right? So research has shown that inverter ACs save up to 44% of energy usage when compared to your normal air conditioner. And let's just do a little bit of calculation here. Inverter ACs use about, in an average in a year, about 3,471 kilowatt hour per year. And if you are not even in band A and you're using like every other band B and the rest, let's say assume you're paying 50 naira per kilowatt hour, trust me, it's more than that for some. It means that in a year, just for your AC, just for your AC, you're spending as much as 173,550 naira. You imagine how much that is. That is just your AC. Imagine if you were going to calculate that. Sometimes we expend money, we do not even know how our monies are actually being spent or wasted. But by the time you take serious account, you find out that you are actually spending so much. So you're spending as much as 173,000. But if you're using an inverter AC, it's consuming just almost half of it. You're consuming you're consuming about less than that, which so inverter AC is 341,000 3,471 kilo per kilowatt hour per year. That's for inverter AC, apologies. But for ACs are not inverters, they're about 6,230, which is like double. And by the time you consider the cost savings, you're saving about 137,950 naira per year. And that's just on your AC. So imagine what you can do with 137,950 naira for just one AC. Imagine if you have just two ACs in your home or your office, or you have other appliances that consume as much energy. So you can actually, use this money to buy like some food. You know how food is expensive right now. So you can actually use this to buy a lot of things that are much more beneficial. So what's our tip here? Pay attention to the appliances that you buy going forward. If you need to replace, now you may be asking, what if I already have an equipment that's energy consuming? Do I throw them away? What do I do? So the next tip will help you with that. But if you have an opportunity to change, to switch, you can actually do that. We advise clients that are looking to particularly uptake solar solutions, as much as possible, change your appliances if you can. Okay, you can change your appliances, or you can swap. Some organizations swap. So you can take your freezer, swap it for an energy one, and energy saving one, and then give them your older one. So your first tip here to cut down electricity bills is what? To use energy saving appliances. How do you identify energy saving appliances? This is very important because some people don't even know. Most energy saving appliances are actually written on it. If you look at it, you say energy saving, low energy, some of those indications that give you an idea that it is saving. But although, to be honest, there are a lot of fake ones out there. So, but you should be able to pay attention. So you can also actually check your nameplate. Nameplate is that for every appliance you have at home, if you look at the back, you see this very small nameplate that tells you how many watts, what's the voltage, and all of those, some of these technical details to help you see. So usually energy saving fridges, for instance, are like low as 100, 120. So you can actually pay attention to that. So that's how you identify energy saving appliance, so that you are not scammed, right? So that's it on tip number 1. So we'll go to number 2. This is the most simplest of them all, which is turn off your appliances when not in use. Turn off your appliances when not in use. And this requires a lot of intentionality. You need to make it a habit of turning off electrical appliances. It might seem like, okay, personally for me, I had to train myself with this because I like to see lights. Even during the day, I like to see electricity lights shining. Well, yes, this light you're seeing around it because I wanted to brighten up my screen for this video. So yeah. Okay, so you need to turn off your lights in order to save electricity and cut down your costs. And it does two things. It saves your money, and it also protects the environment, because the more electricity you have on, it means that the more electricity needs to be generated to be able to power that use, and which can also have an impact in the environment. So with this practice, you can actually save up to 50%, trust me. And I tried it. Let me give this. There's this man called Mr. Bidemi, and we had spoken to him about the need to turn off electricity bulbs, and decided to try it. By the time he did it for like just a month to track his energy consumption, he actually discovered he was able to save as much as 30% on his electricity bills. So you can actually make it a habit. Tell your children, tell your staff, tell people around your house to turn off equipment when they are not in use. Your fan, if it's not in use, turn it off. Your AC, if they're not in use, turn it off. In fact, yesterday I was speaking to a lady, she lives in a house where they didn't have prepaid meters, right? They didn't have prepaid meters, and they're on and on using electricity. And the moment, so like about 2 weeks ago, they installed a prepaid meter at their apartment. Trust me, immediately, they installed prepaid meters, and 2 weeks their electricity consumption was all out. They had to learn their lesson and began to turn off the electricity, and then that cut down their cost drastically, right? So it's something that you should learn to do, and it's a general practice, no matter what you're using, whether you're using a generator or even using a solar system. If you're not using any electricity bulb or any electrical appliance, kindly turn it off. So that's our tip number 2. So to our final tip for the day, who can guess what it is? Are you following? Please, if you're following, you can just send a message on the chat box. so that we know you're following. Yes. Okay. So we're going to tip number 3, which is like the main one, right? Because yeah, this is it. You need to get a solar system. And I'm just about to show you how this works and how you can actually save money from using that. Now this is the best way to save electricity compared to the other, or well, those other options are relevant. They are actually very useful if you're also using solar system, but it is a better way to save electricity when compared to using electricity tariff, or you're using a fuel or diesel. I'm sure you may be thinking solar is expensive, and that's the truth. In the last webinar we had, we debunked certain myths about solar systems. You can actually check our YouTube's channel to be able to watch the webinar if you missed that. So we're able to debunk this myth, and I'm also going to do that again in today's video to let you know that solar systems are not expensive. They are not expensive. Now I understand that the capital costs, when I mean capital costs, the initial cost of buying a solar system, it can be higher than what you would spend if you're buying a generator. I agree, right? But when you look at over time, you discover that you're actually saving much more. And the good thing about solar system is that you can actually start small. Like if you look at my screen now, there's this solar system right on the screen. It's like one of the smallest size solar system you can get. As this, what you see right now in front of you is a solar system, but it comes with 3 electricity bulbs. It comes with a small table fan. It has a YouTube device that enables you to play music. It has a radio that helps you listen to radio. It has touch lights on the body. It also has okay, I talked about Bluetooth, and it has a device that enables you to charge your phones. So like it has multiple charging points that you can charge your phones, you can charge your POS machine in front, and then it has a panel that you can charge it with. So you can actually charge it with sunlight, or you can actually charge it with your normal electricity. So I will then show you how you can save electricity costs using a solar system. So if you're not good at mathematics, you need to pay attention to this part. Okay. So let's do a little bit of calculations. So imagine someone who gets a generator capacity of 1.5 kVA or 1,500 kilowatts, right? And this 1,500 kilowatt can power your LED bulbs, your fan, your TV, a fridge, and a laptop. And so imagine someone else gets, Mr. B now decides to get a generator of the same size, a 1,500 kilowatts, and then they can also power the same thing. Now, for the solar costs, just follow the table here and follow my cursor if you can see it. So for a solar cost, you can see that the initial startup cost to install your battery, your inverter, to be able to last you for almost 14 hours, and even more, is about maybe up to like 2 million naira, 2.3 million naira. Now, yes, this is the initial cost, right? And then you then have once you expend this money of 2.3 million naira, the only thing you get to do for the next 3 years is probably to spend 300,000 naira every 300,000 naira over a period of 3 years to buy distilled water. That's if you're using a tubular battery, for instance, you need to refill every 6 months, say. And for every refill, you might not even spend maybe like 20,000 naira, 25,000 naira, 6 months. And this 300,000 naira is just even at the maximum. Let's assume you need to even clean your panels, get someone to help you clean your panels, which is just a basic maintenance. Your entire cost for 3 years of using a solar system may not be up to 300,000 naira. And this cost is even if you are using a tubular batteries. If you're using lithium ion batteries, you don't even have to spend anything. All you just need to do is probably just clean your panels once in a while, just to ensure that it's receiving maximum sunlight. So let's make it totally in a year, you are spending 200 for 3 years. I'm just using the 3 years as an example. For 3 years, you are spending just 2,645,000 naira, 750. 2,645,750, yes. And then you're able to use electricity for up to 14 hours and even more. This 14 hours is like minimum, right? And depend on your energy usage. Now let's do a generator analysis. Your generator analysis is that, okay, let's assume you buy a generator for like 300K. Okay, very good generator for 1.5K for 300K. Now, this is where it gets tricky, your fuel cost. So let's assume you buy 10 liters every day. Your 10 liters every day at 600 naira, for 30 days times 36 months, right, will give you about 6,480,000. That is just on the fuel cost only. Now, don't forget again, this is just to power your generator for just like 3 or 4 hours, yeah, or maybe a little more than that. And believe me that you will definitely need electricity for more than 3 or 4 hours, particularly if you're living in an area where you don't have good electricity supply. And then you didn't, and this does not include like an extra 450,000 naira that you might spend on engine oil, servicing, or the days that you wake up to pull the rope of your generator and it cuts off. Oh my God, I've experienced that severally. And it's not funny. So these are like, and this is on the assumption that the fuel price remains at 600 naira for the next 3 years. You and I know that that might not be the case. So we've seen fuel price increase over the years. So if fuel prices increase in the next 3 years, it means you can spend almost more than 6 million naira on generator. So by the time you compare 2,645,000 and 6 million, that's almost 200% increase, or in 200% additional monies you are spending on your generator. So though you might be spending these monies in piecemeal, small here and there, but when you look at how much you spent over time, this is how much you've actually spent. So you can then agree with me that solar systems is a way to cut your electricity costs. I use one in my house, and you don't want to understand the convenience that the noise alone, I mean, is worth the expense, right? So we'll talk about some other frequently asked questions regarding solar systems. So right now, having said all of this, I want to make you a very interesting offer. Probably one that you can't resist. I know we've talked about spending 2 million naira. Guess what? You don't have to spend as much as that for a solar system. You can't. You can actually get a very basic solar system for as small as 595,000. You don't have to spend up to 2 million naira. A basic solar home system that can charge your fan. At least they can charge one fan. They can come with a bulb, right? And they can also charge your laptop, your TV. Yes, you can actually get a basic, very, very big solar system for this amount. And this time around, you never get to buy fuel or engine oil, and you have a guarantee usage of at least 3 years for this particular system. And just imagine what that saving will be for you. And the good thing about it is that you can actually have it, for some clients, they have it as a backup, and their children used to write homeworks at night. You can't explain the value that this brings to you. And again, I decided to do just a further calculation on just this 595,000 naira. If you're going to do equivalent of generator, you might spend about 1,512,000 naira for a generator of the same capacity, right? And then for 3 years for solar technology, just pay 595. And imagine if you had to invest that amount, you're saving. If you invest your saving in an investment, you'll make profits that you can invest in other things. So what we are trying to do for you at Solfa Power here, or with our offer this week and this, because this offer is actually for 7 days, as we will say, is that we're trying to help you save power. So with this, we call it the Solar Vanilla package. With this 595,000 naira package, you're able to cover one fan, 4 bulbs, 1 TV, phone charging. You have 1 year guarantee from us on maintenance. You have 20 years lifespan for your panels. Yes, your panels can actually last for 20 years, right? Your batteries can be changed, and then very little maintenance cost, like we discussed, no fueling cost, and we provide you with financing arrangements. Yes, that's part of the things we talk about. If you're even able to raise 595,000 naira, we have installment packages for you to help you actually spread out your payments over a period of time, of course, subject to fulfilling certain conditions. This offer is valid for 7 days. 7 days. And if you make the decision to buy the system within the next 7 days, 2 things you stand to gain. First is free installation. you don't have to pay for your installation. Installation is something else. When it comes to the cost, you can ask around. But if you're able to take on this package for 595,000 naira, you have free installation plus a whooping 5% discount on the price. Okay. And so if you're interested in doing that, some of our staff are on the call now. Please feel free to drop a message. You'll see our phone numbers very shortly. Please you can drop our phone numbers on the chat box. Yes, our phone numbers, our email address, our office address as well, as you see. But before we go, I want to answer some very frequently asked questions, so that maybe I'm sure you may still have some doubts in your mind. How do I manage the solar system for efficiency and cost effectiveness? See, I've had some people tell you solar does not work, but solar does work, but you need to know how to use it. Just like every other appliance and gadget that you buy, you need to know how to use it. So one of the things you need to know about solar systems is that, solar systems charge with the sun, right? And for most of them, they can also charge your normal grid electricity. So what you need, the tip, just in case you have a solar system or you know someone that has, one of the things you need to know is that you don't, during the day, when the sun is up, you can actually have a lot of your appliances on, okay, because the sun is directly charging your batteries and you're using it. But once it is getting to evening, 4 p.m., it is always advised, if you want to enjoy your solar system optimally, it's always advisable to turn down the things you are not using as much as possible. Do you know why? Because at that point, the sun is no longer up. What you are using is the extra energy saved in your battery. And because that is limited, you don't want to expend, you don't want to use it all in at once within a short period of time. We always advise cut it down, reduce a lot of things. Just ensure that you're using your basic electricity needs at that time so that you can use it for a very long time. So for instance, like our package of 595,000 naira, when it is evening and the sun is down, you can actually use it for close to like 14 hours, 15 hours just with fan and lights alone. But if you are not aware of this tip, you can decide to put on everything on at the same time, and it just lasts you for like 2 hours, 3 hours. I begin to say, this thing is not working. You didn't keep your promise. But we are here to teach you how to use your solar systems. So that's number one. Do not put your full load on your batteries in the evening times. Okay, so that's number one, FAQ. Number two for FAQ, can I actually have 24/7 power with solar energy? Yes. Some people tell you can. And I remember we went to meet a client sometime. The client said, your solar cannot power my AC, solar cannot power my machine. Well, let me announce to you, solar can power anything and everything you want it. Just that the more load or the more things you want it to power, the more expensive it is. Okay, the more size of panels you will need, the more batteries you will need. Solar energy alone powers factories. Solar energy alone power organizations alone, like they decide to go off grid. So it is possible to have, so it depends on your strategy. Am I using a solar system because I don't want to, there are clients that tell you, I don't want to be on NEPA or grid anymore. And that's their strategy. They just want to go off. In fact, I have a client that lives in a fully serviced estate, like fully serviced estate that they have 24 hours light, but it's expensive for him. So he just gets a solar system. So what he does is that during the day, he goes off the estate light because it's expensive and just uses solar. Then in the night, he switches to his estate lights. So for him, solar is not because he doesn't have lights, but solar is actually a way to save money for him, right? So the same thing with you, actually have good electricity in your area. It doesn't stop you from getting a solar system, right? So because it helps you save money for those period that your solar is on, you're not using your electricity token. Okay, so you can actually have 24/7 power energy with solar. Then the other FAQ is, I don't have the money, I don't have 500K. Can I pay in installments? Yes, you can. So subject to very internal verifications, you can actually have up to like 3 months. We have finance partners that work with us. You can actually spread your 3 months payment. You can spread up to like 3 months. For Solfa Power, we do up to 3 months. Or then there may be an additional cap on it, maybe like an additional interest because you're spreading over a period of time. It can't be compared when you're buying just one off at the same time. So, but yes, we can actually, but we can assure you that it is not a lot. So if you're interested in taking up our solar system and spreading over a period of time, please drop your message on the chat box and then we'll let you know. And then we also work with cooperative societies and employers. So if you like, you have work in an office where you have a lot of people that work remotely, or people that need solar systems, we can actually provide it, and then your employer pays us, and then you pay back your employer over a period of time. We also work with cooperative societies and health facilities as well. Okay, so can I have different solar capacity from the solar vanilla? Yes, 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 yes. So for power, work outside Lagos. If you live outside Lagos and you want solar system, we can get it to you easily and quickly. Okay, and then we have different capacities. So even just in case you want something bigger or even smaller than our vanilla package, we have you covered. So you can reach out to us by email as our phone number, as you can see. We will see something on the screen. Then finally, I think this is the final one. What if my system has a fault? What can I do? So we have warranties. Okay, as long as it's not you didn't damage it. Of course, we don't encourage clients damage. So one of the things we do at Solfa Power is that we teach you how to use your system. We give you our manual. And once your system is damaged by maybe a manufacturer error, we definitely replace them for you free of charge, right? Just ensure that you manage your system properly. So in case you have other questions, please feel free to drop them on the comment section. So that brings me to the end. Thank you for listening. If you want to contact us, please, our email address on the screen. Our office is at number 3 Onisemo Street of Marshall Road, Surulere, Lagos. Please feel free to visit us anytime. And our phone number is on the screen as well. Is our WhatsApp number. You can reach us at any time of the day. And our business team, our customer care team will be in touch to reach out with you. You can follow us on our social media handles. Yes, it is very important. We share very, very helpful tips on social media. Follow us on Instagram at Solfa Power. You follow us on Facebook at Solfa Power as well. You follow us on LinkedIn, Solfa Power Limited, right? We share helpful tips to keep you updated on what you need to do. So that brings us to the end of the webinar for today. And let me check the chat box. Do we have any comments? Do you have any questions? Okay, so I see a question here. The installment payments. Okay, I'm not sure I get the question. Okay. The installment payment, is it installation after or before? Okay, so this is how it works. If you want us to install before you finish paying, then maybe you pay your initial installment and then you want us to install before that, we can do that. But then there is an interest rate for that, right? Because, again, it's an expense on our part to be able to do that for you. But again, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. I can assure you that it is not a lot, right? So, or the second alternative is that we install, we make payments over a period of time, and when you are done with your payments, we then install. With that one, there's no additional cost. Yeah, so that's the difference. There's no additional interest. So you are paying the exact price. And the good thing about it is that once you adopt that approach, it means that even if the price of the commodity increases beyond that period, you don't have to pay because you have paid for the original price. So let's assume a product is 595,000, which is available for like 7 days, right? And you'll be able to pay at least the initial installment. Once you pay the initial installment, we can only sell to you at the price you paid for. So even if the price has changed 2 months down the line, but we do this for only 3 months, up to 3 months. If the price change two months down the line, you don't have to pay the new price. So that's the benefit of that accessory, of that package or that approach. Right. So thank you very much. Do we have any other questions? And if you want to speak or ask any question directly, please feel free to unmute your mic, and I'm happy to take your questions. Do we have any questions? Okay, so I want to assume that we all followed, right? So again, if you're on the call and you are looking to refer someone, yes, you can refer someone and actually get a commission for that. Yes, so at Solfa Power, we have a commission package for everyone that refers a client to us. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's webinar, and say thank you so much for your time. And we actually have this knowledge series every month, so please be on the lookout for our knowledge series next month, for the month of September. Do have a great weekend from all of us at Solfa Power. Thank you very much. Bye.